Hi, I'm Steve Koski, host of Papa Steve's Rebel 1100 Garage, where we show do-it-yourselfers how to maintain your motorcycle. Let's get greasy. The DCT is an integral part of the Rebel 1100's riding modes. The 1100 has 3 factory set riding modes: Sport, Standard, and Rain modes. A 4th mode called User can be configured by riders to fit their preferred riding style. Some motorcycle purists don't even want riding modes, preferring analog legacy bikes. Here are 3 options that determine your relationship with your motorcycle, whether it's a new digital machine or an analog legacy bike. Buy a legacy motorcycle that fits your riding style. Buy a legacy motorcycle, then fit your riding style to it. Buy a modern digital motorcycle with riding modes, then set the mode that fits your riding style. I suppose there's a 4th option. Buy a motorcycle with riding modes, then leave the modes set the way they came from the factory and learn to ride it that way. Each Rebel 1100 riding mode has 4 parameters that vary. P is engine power, T is torque level, EB is engine braking level, and D is DCT level. P, or engine power, can be adjusted to low, middle, or high, with high being the most engine output. T stands for what Honda calls torque control. Torque control has 3 levels: low, middle, and high. Plus, it's the only control that can be set to off. T sets the speed difference between the front and rear wheel that the motorcycle will tolerate. The purpose of the T setting is traction control and wheelie prevention. High is maximum torque control, thus maximum traction control and wheelie prevention. Set to high, torque control will adjust engine RPMs to prevent the rear wheel from burning rubber during hard acceleration. Much as the Rebel 1100's anti-lock brake system will keep the front and rear wheel from locking up and skidding during hard braking. Similarly, set to high, it will keep the front wheel on the ground when the motorcycle is in its low gears and you crank it to full throttle. Honda is tight-lipped about what effect the middle and low settings have on peeling out and wheel lift. I watched a YouTube video of an 1100 DCT rider getting the front wheel off the ground with the traction control turned off. I put the link to the video in the description. Honda engineers would have been more descriptive to call the T setting traction control. EB and D control the RPMs at which the DCT shifts during acceleration or deceleration. Like P, EB and D have 3 levels: low, middle, and high. EB controls engine braking, or how soon the DCT downshifts when you let off the throttle. Low is for weak engine braking. High will downshift the DCT more aggressively during deceleration, so the engine assists the brakes in slowing down the 1100. D controls how the DCT upshifts during acceleration. Low causes the transmission to upshift at the lowest RPMs. So the ride mode you select changes how the engine and transmission respond when you accelerate or decelerate. Sport mode makes for the most aggressive riding. Engine power is set to maximum. Torque control is on, but set to minimum effect. Engine braking is set to middle level, and D is set to allow the engine to wrap out to higher RPMs before shifting to the next gear. Riders who are accustomed to manual transmissions may find Sport mode is closest to their riding style. Sport mode can be twitchy though, if you don't keep a smooth throttle. I think of Standard mode as cruise mode. Standard mode smooths out the ride compared to Sport mode. By reducing engine power, increasing traction control, lowering the RPMs at which the transmission shifts. Engine braking is set to the same as in Sport mode. The bike still has plenty of power, but the transmission is less aggressive and the ride less twitchy than in Sport mode. Traction control will prevent most rear wheel spin out, and wheelies are unlikely. Rain mode is a safety mode for use when the pavement is slippery or the riding surface is unforgiving. Engine power is at its lowest output. Traction control is at its maximum. Engine braking is minimal to reduce the chance of rear wheel skid, and the DCT shifts up at the lowest engine speed. Rain mode might be a good choice for novice riders until their skill level and confidence warrants a more aggressive riding style. I've used it in the rain and on gravel roads where the traction is treacherous. Otherwise, rain mode sucks the fun out of the motorcycle. User mode, as the name implies, allows riders to set modes P, T, EB, and D to fit their preferred riding style. The factory setting for user mode is the same as for standard mode until you change it. I hope you found this video helpful. I'd be delighted if you would subscribe to Papa Steve's Rebel 1100 Garage. If you don't, I'll be just another codger talking to himself on the internet.